So in this video, we are going to learn how to send Slack message for SavvyCal events. Now suppose guys, you are using SavvyCal as an application to schedule some kind of meetings or appointments with your client. And you want, whenever a client schedules a meeting with you or your team members using SavvyCal, you want to send a message to your team members on Slack that a meeting is being scheduled by a client. Now guys, let me tell you, you can completely automate this process of updating your team members. So the trigger of this automation will be receiving a new event or receiving a new appointment or scheduling a new appointment booking in SavvyCal. And the action will be adding those new event details into our Slack channel as a channel message. Now how you can set up this automation? To know this, you have to come with me to my screen.
So as you can see, here we are on the Pabbly Connect dashboard. Now to reach this dashboard, you will get the free sign-up link of Pabbly Connect in the description box below. By clicking on that link, you can create your free Pabbly Connect account in just 2 minutes. And after reaching to this dashboard, just click on Create Workflow and give your workflow a name. For example, I would like to name my workflow as SavvyCal to Slack. And then just click on Create. Now we can see that our workflow is open over here. And in this workflow, we have 2 different windows. First one is the trigger window and second one is the action window. So triggers and actions are basically those 2 concepts, those 2 principles on which this whole automation works on, where the trigger says when this happens and the action says do this. So let's begin with the trigger window. So the idea here is we want to add the details or the data of new appointments which we are receiving on SavvyCal, and we want to send those new appointment details on Slack channel. Now to do so, first we have to get the details of new bookings or new appointments from SavvyCal inside Pabbly Connect. And after that, after getting those data inside Pabbly Connect, we will be sending those details as a channel message on Slack. Now to begin with, here in trigger window, in choose app, we have to search for SavvyCal. Select SavvyCal over here. And after that, in trigger event from the drop down, select any event as the trigger event. So after selecting a trigger event, Pabbly Connect gave us a webhook URL. Now we are going to use this webhook URL to make the connection between SavvyCal and Pabbly Connect and also to get the appointment details. Now just copy this webhook URL from here, go to your SavvyCal account and from the left side, go to settings section over here. After reaching to the settings page, just click on integration and then scroll down, and here after scrolling down under automation, you will find an option named as webhook. Just click on this plus button of add webhook and paste the same webhook URL over here which Pabbly Connect gave us and click on save. In this way, we have successfully connected SavvyCal account with Pabbly Connect. Now every time any event is going to happen in our SavvyCal account, automatically the details of that data will be received inside Pabbly Connect as well. Now guys, after this, what we have to do, we have to create or get the response of a new event in SavvyCal account. Now guys, what we are going to do, we'll just go to our SavvyCal scheduling links and then we are going to create a test event, a test appointment booking in our link. So here I have a scheduling link named as chat with Pabbly Connect. Let's open it. And here I'm going to open this link, this scheduling page in a preview mode. Let's click on preview. And here it is open in front of us. Now let's make a booking of 2 p.m. on the 1st of November. So this is the date, 1st of November, and the time is 2 p.m. Let's enter the detail of a user, for example, dummy name. And after that, let's enter an email address as well. And after that, finally, let's enter a mobile number of the customer too. And click on schedule. So in this way, you can see that we have opened our booking page in the preview mode and we have made a test booking on our SavvyCal scheduling page. And now guys, because we have connected our SavvyCal account with Pabbly Connect using the webhook URL, we will get the details of this scheduled meeting in Pabbly Connect as well. That too instantly. So we'll just go back to our SavvyCal account and here you can see that we have received some response. And here in this response, you can see the details of the same meeting which we have just now scheduled. We have the same summary of the meeting. We have the event type as event created. Now, because we have created an event, we have scheduled the meeting. That's why we have received the event type as event.created. Then after that, here we can see the start date and time of the event in UTC time format. Then we have the name, our account name. Then we have the scope ID. We have the time zone, that in which time zone, according to which time zone we have scheduled the meeting. Then after that, we have the mobile number of the client who has scheduled the meeting. The same mobile number which we have entered while booking the meeting, making the booking for the meeting, the same number is received. We have the last name of the client who has made the booking. We have the first name of the client. We have the email and the full name. So in this way, you can see all the details regarding to this meeting has been received over here in Pabbly Connect. Now after this guys, the step 1 of setting up this automation is completed. We have successfully received the new meeting details, the new meeting data inside Pabbly Connect. Now after this, let's move to step 2. And in step 2 guys, we have to add a condition that if we get the response or the data of an event being created, then only we want to send the Slack channel message. If we are getting the data or responses of a meeting being rescheduled or cancelled, and in that case, we don't want to send the meeting details on a Slack channel as a channel message. For that, we will just scroll down and come to our action window. And here in Choose App, we will select for filter. So filter is a feature of Pabbly Connect using which we can add these kind of conditions in our automation workflow. So here we are going to set up a condition filter that if we get the response of type as event.created, then only this workflow should be continued further. And if we get the event type as something else instead of event created, for example, event.rescheduled or event.cancelled, then in that case, we don't want to execute this workflow further and we don't want to send the Slack channel messages. Now to add these kind of conditions, just scroll down and here in select label from the drop down, we can see in the drop down below all the responses which we have received from SavvyCal. And out of all of these responses, select the response of type and it will be selected over here in the label. So here we have to select the label that for what label we are going to match this value. Then here in filter type guys from the drop down, just select equals to and here in value, we have to exactly enter this event.created as it is. We want to set up a condition that if this label type is equals to this value, then only this automation workflow should be executed further. So that's why we have added a filter, a condition over here. After this, just click on save and send test request. And right now, because in this response, the type is event.created as we have entered over here, that's why it is giving us the response as the condition is true. So this means this workflow auto will be executed further according to this example response. Now after this guys, now what we have done, we have received the start date and time of the meeting of the appointment. But this date and time is not in a readable in a convenient format and also it is in UTC time zone. Now what we are going to do, we are going to use another feature of Pabbly Connect that is date time formatter. And using that feature guys, we are going to change the format of date and time of this particular meeting start date and also we are going to change the time zone. Now to use this, now to do so, we will just scroll down, click on this add action step button over here. And here in choose app, we will search for date time formatter. Select date time formatter. After that, in action event from the drop down, select format date with time zone and click on connect. After that, the first thing it asks us is the date, that what is the date you want to change. So we want to change the format of this particular date. So we have to map this particular date over here in this date field. And guys, the process of mapping is very simple. Simply click on this field and in the drop down below from the responses of SavvyCal, select the response of this date and it will be mapped over here. So whatever date we are going to receive in response from SavvyCal inside Pabbly Connect, the same date will be mapped. Then it is asking us from format, that in which format this date and time is present right now. So in the drop down below, we can see several different formats over here, out of which this is the format in which this date and time is particularly present. Then after that, it is asking us to format, that in which format we want to convert this date. So in the drop down below, I want to convert this date in this particular format of day, month, year, hours, minutes and seconds. So I will be selecting this format. Then it is asking us from time zone, that according to what time zone we have received this date and time. So we have received this response in UTC time zone. So in UTC format, so we will be selecting UTC over here. And in 2 time zone, we have to select Asia Kolkata. So right now I'm in India, so that's why my time zone is Asia Kolkata. I'm selecting it. If you have any doubt regarding the time zone, here in response you have also received the time zone, that payload scheduler time zone, that the user who is actually making the booking for or scheduling the meeting with you, according to what time zone they have entered the time. So you have received that same data of time zone over here. You can actually map the same time zone in this two time zone field as well. Just turn on the mapping button in front of it, clear this data, and then from the SavvyCal responses, select the response of time zone and it will be mapped over here. So according to whatever time zone they are actually entering the date and time, the same time zone will be received over here in Pabbly Connect and the same time zone will be mapped. Now let's hit on enter. Let's hit on save and send test request. And as we click on save and send test request, we can see that we have received some response. And in this response, we have received this date and time in a readable format. So while making this test response, while creating this test response, we have basically selected the date as 1st of November 2022 and time as 2 p.m. And we have received that same date and time in a readable format. So from this complex format, we have changed the date and time to a easier format. After this guys, let's send all of this data to Slack channel as a new channel message to complete this automation. For that, let's click on this add action step button. And here in choose app, let's search for Slack. Select Slack over here. And then in action event from the drop down, select send channel message. Click on connect and select add new connection. Now here guys, we have to connect our Slack channel with Pabbly Connect. And to make this connection, just click on this connect with Slack button. And then the first thing it asks us is the token type. So here are two different token types that Slack supports. First one is the user token and second one is the bot token. If you want to know what are the differences between user token and bot token, you can just click here on this hyperlink. Right now, I'm just going to enter user and create a user token. Let's click on save. And then here it is asking us for the authorization. Let's click on allow and let's connect our Slack account with Pabbly Connect. So guys, here in my browser, because I have already connected my Slack account, already logged into my Slack account, that's why Pabbly Connect has detected the same account and here it has made the connection. After making the connection, the first thing it asks us is the channel. So in the drop down below, we can see that a list of all the channels which we have created in our Slack account can be seen over here. And out of all of this channel, the channel in which you want to send these channel messages on receiving a new booking on SavvyCal, you have to select that channel. So new appointment is the channel name which I have created just now. And in this particular Slack channel, I want to send the new appointment details, scheduled meeting details. So we are going to select that channel over here. After this, it is asking us for the message, that what is the message which we want to send. So I want my message to be, so here in this message, I want the message to start as, hello team, we have a scheduled meeting with, and after this, I want to mention the name of the user, the name of the client who has scheduled the meeting with us. So here we have received the name of the person in the responses from SavvyCal. And from the drop down below from the SavvyCal responses, let's map the name of the client over here. So whatever name the user will be entering while making or scheduling the meeting with us in our SavvyCal booking page, the same name will be entered in this message. Okay, so these are the meeting details which I want to share with my team members on the Slack channel message. The name of the client once again, the email, the mobile number of the client, and the meeting date and time. So here in front of name of the client, let's hit the cursor, and from the drop down below from the SavvyCal responses, once again map the response of the name of the client. So here in email, follow the same process of mapping. Just click here, and from the drop down below from the SavvyCal responses, select the response of email and map it. Let's map the phone number of the client over here in this response. And then here, let's map the date and time. So from the drop down below, select the response of date time formatter. So using date time formatter, we have actually changed the date and time of the meeting into a simpler readable format. So from that response, we are going to map meeting date and time. Now after this guys, after this message, this is the message which we are going to send. After that, it is asking us for the image URL. So if you want to send some kind of image with this Slack channel message, you can also enter that image URL over here and image or text over here. Now here it is asking us bot name. So using a bot guys, this message is going to be posted on our Slack channel. So what will be the name of the bot? You can basically specify the name of the bot as well. So let me name my bot as SavvyCal. So this is just the name of the bot which I'm giving. If you want, you can also change the icon or the logo of the bot over here as well. Just enter the image URL of the logo you want. Auto expand link, yes, we want to auto expand link. Let's select it true. And here are other settings regarding to this message which we want to send. You can basically select these settings according to your choice. And after all of this, let's hit on save and send test request. After clicking on save and send test request, here we have received a response, and this response seems to be a positive response to us. This response shows that the message which we have created over here is now sent on our Slack channel. So let's check it. Let's get back to our Slack channel. And yes guys, here you can see that on our Slack channel, we have received a message which says, "Hello team, we have a scheduled meeting with dummy name." So we have the name of the client who has scheduled a meeting with us. Meeting details are as follows. Client name, this is the name of the client, the email of the client which they have entered while making the booking or scheduling the meeting. We have the phone number and the meeting date and time, that at what date and time we have the meeting. So in this way guys, you can see that we have completely created this automation, and in this automation, whenever we will get a new booking, whenever a client will schedule a new meeting with us on our SavvyCal calendar, automatically the meeting details will be shared on the Slack channel with our team members as a channel message. Now, after setting up this automation, let's test this automation once in real time. For that, we'll get back to SavvyCal, and here we are going to schedule another meeting. So let's schedule this meeting this time for the 2nd. So 2nd of November for 11, or should I say 12 p.m. Let's select this time. And let's enter the details of a new user. For example, this time we are going to enter the username as test user. Test user. Let's enter the email address. For example, this is the email address of the user who is scheduling the appointment. And let's add another mobile number. And after that, let's click on schedule. Now, as we click on schedule, we can see that a new meeting is being scheduled by a test user on our SavvyCal scheduling calendar link. Now, as this meeting is scheduled, we will see that instantly, automatically, the details of this meeting will be shared on our Slack channel as a message. Let's get back to Slack. And yes guys, here you can see that on our Slack channel, we have received a message which says, "Hello team, we have a scheduled meeting with test user." So we have the name of the same user whose details we have entered while scheduling the meeting. Meeting details are as followed. This is the name of the client, the name of the user. This is the same email address which we have entered. This is the mobile number, and this is the date and time of the meeting. The same date and time, 2nd of November, 12 p.m. So in this way, we can see that the automation workflow which we have created in this video is working perfectly fine. Now let's understand this workflow in brief guys. So first, to create this automation workflow, we have created a workflow inside Pabbly Connect, and in this workflow, we have selected SavvyCal as a trigger application, and any event was our trigger event. Then after that, using the webhook URL, we have connected our SavvyCal account with Pabbly Connect so that we can get the details or the data of any event happening on our SavvyCal scheduling calendar inside Pabbly Connect. Then after that, because we were getting the data for each and every event, but we only wanted to send the messages for an event of event created for booking or receiving a new booking or new meeting from our clients. So for that, we have added the condition of filter in this. And after that, using date time formatter, we have converted the date and time of the meeting from a complex format to a simpler readable format, which we use in the day-to-day life. And after that, we have sent all of this data to Slack so that we can send these details as a Slack channel message to our team members. So not just these applications guys, you can connect plenty of other applications using Pabbly Connect. And guys, one more important thing, you will find the clone link of the same workflow in the description box below. By clicking on that link, you can clone the same workflow into your own Pabbly Connect account and use this workflow for free.
If you have any kind of doubts or queries, you can post them on forum.pabbly.com. So if this video was helpful to you, you can obviously like this video, comment down your suggestions, and don't forget to share it with others. So guys, that's it for today's video. Thank you. Have a great day.